It kind of feels like old times. I have my kombucha, I have my notes. I'm so excited to get into this topic with you. So welcome in, ladies. Let's jump right into the video. So the title of this video is Entering 2025 Magnetic and Attractive, and not just radiating with that beautiful feminine energy attraction, but actually attracting your dream opportunities, whether it's your dream career, your dream partner, your dream lifestyle. This video is going to be how to activate the energy that gets you that result. So I'm so excited to discuss. There's one thing that we are going to be focusing on in this video that usually is the one key blocking magnetism and blocking that ultimate oozing attractive energy. What that one block is self-consciousness. There's little ways that it pops up, even if you've been doing inner work for years and years. If you can remove the self-consciousness, I guarantee you, your desire will come. Usually that is what's blocking it. And the reason for this is because when we are in that self-conscious energy, it's putting our feminine energy in a restriction. It's keeping us very, very dimmed down, where when you know how to turn that life force on, that is always what brings you the desire. So self-consciousness is usually the one thing that is blocking this. Hi, ladies. Hello from Greece. Hi, welcome in. I'm so excited to have you. How was everyone's Christmas? I hope that everyone survived. I know it's definitely a time to do some inner work, especially when you're around family a lot. It can be a lot of challenges and growth, and it's so beautiful because you walk away thinking, number one, I survived that, but number two, I just got to practice my inner work with the people that know me the best, the people that are closest to me. So I hope that everyone's Christmas and holidays were wonderful. I know that can definitely be a time of doing some inner work. Okay, I'm actually at my mom's house right now. It has been so wonderful being back with my mom. My brother is here, so I'm currently with my family and just really, really grateful. I will go back to Dubai in about a week and a half, but I'm just loving being here. There's snow outside. It's just so cozy, so I'm really, really happy. Okay, anyways, back to the video. Self-consciousness. So let's talk about why this is the ultimate repellent and why it just shuts off that magnetism and that attractiveness in you as a woman. Well, when we are self-conscious, what it signals to other people is, number one, I'm hiding, and number two, I'm not trustworthy. When we are self-conscious, so what it can look like is constantly fixing yourself. But what it looks like deep down is feeling that you have to hide who you are and almost put on this front, almost put on these cues and these mannerisms that show I appear this way, even though deep down I don't believe it. We are all animals at the core, and we can smell these signals. We can read them as subconscious cues, whether it's eye movement or the tone of our voice or our body language. We can pick up on these cues. The way that I like to define self-consciousness is trying to control or attempting to control the viewpoint of others by extremely controlling yourself. So it's attempting to control the viewpoint, the perspective of others by extremely controlling yourself. That's why it comes across as so rigid. Feminine energy, what makes it so attractive and so beautiful is it's very flowy. It's just very sensual. It's like water moving. There's not a lot of work that's involved. It's just a natural flow of energy. Notice how whenever men are asked, what type of makeup do you like on a woman? Natural. What type of body type do you like? Natural. Men love natural energy. Why? Because it feels authentic. It feels we can truly connect with it. And when something is fake, okay, we're gonna get a bit graphic here. I might have to put this in the magnetically polarizing program, but I'm just gonna say it. When men are, how would I say this? The way that we are designed to be intimate with each other. If something is fake, if something is rock solid, okay, so let's take, for example, this cup will represent fakeness. It represents self-conscious. It's when we're putting on this block, this shield, to display who we want to be, but it's not actually us. Well, when men want to feel what the feminine energy inside is actually like, they cannot get to it because there's this hard shell right here, and they feel this at an energetic level. However, I wish that I had something that was like clear or see-through. Okay, let's just use my notes. Let's just use my piece of paper. However, when you are in that feminine energy flow, and we're going to talk about a few tips, a few hacks that I have to shift to this mode right here. When you're in this flowing energy, just very, very fluid, now all of a sudden when men want to come, they want to feel your energy, they want to be intimate. Now it feels a lot easier to bend, where the glass, it's very, very hard, but this, it's soft. It actually makes an impact. If men feel that they cannot make an impact on you, in you, it's not going to feel that there's a strong connection, and they're going to give up on that hunting. So a lot of the times when we're self-conscious and we think we're putting on this front, we think that we are fixing ourselves and being perfect and being likable. Men, they actually can feel our energy and it doesn't feel good. It just feels super hard to them, where they cannot actually feel who we are. And so it's actually doing the opposite of what we want when we are self-conscious. Okay, here's something that I hear a lot when I'm coaching and just when I'm talking with women. There's no masculine men around me. I hear that all the time. The thing is, I guarantee you, and my girls who are in relationships, you can probably comment and talk about this. Your man, your dream man, I guarantee you, you're probably not going to see him before he sees you. Men hunt, and 99% of the times, they see you before you see them. The problem when we are self-conscious is we step outside of our bodies, and now we are paying attention to all these details because we are outside of ourselves. We're not actually inward. So because our energy is outward focused, now we are attracting these men who are not our match. And number two, we are struggling to even attract men. And so when your energy is inward focused, when you're so deeply connected to your body, you drop the self-consciousness. Now, all of a sudden, all of these men can feel your energy. You become a magnet for them and they start approaching. You know, the times that I get approached the most by men, when I'm on solo dates, when I'm at the gym, completely in a zone. Usually if I have a lot of stuff on my mind, if I'm listening to a really, really intriguing podcast and I don't want to talk to anyone, it's always when I'm so in a zone and I'm so in this mode of pleasure, whether it's tasting the food that I ordered on that solo date or just enjoying sweating and running and really taking care of my body at the gym. It's always when I'm inward focused. When I'm focused on something that feels alive, that feels electric for my body. That is always when men approach. My girls who are scared to go on solo dates, this is for you, because I guarantee you, remove the self-consciousness and you will enjoy solo dates. They will be some of the best nights out, the best days out that you will ever experience. I loved in the Singapore vlog that I recently posted, you ladies were saying, it's so nice to see you on a date by yourself, Alexis. That's my favorite thing. I'm definitely more of an introvert. I love that alone time. So for me, a solo date, it's like, I don't have to share my food. Okay, I can order whatever I want. I can people watch, I can observe. You ladies know I love psychology. I love human behavior. So to me, that is one of the most exciting experiences that I can have. However, when I was in that wounded feminine energy and I was self-conscious, I could not do it, because here's what would happen. I would order something and I'd be thinking, oh my gosh, people are going to be thinking, she's so weird. She's all alone. Is she waiting for someone? Did she get stood up? How many times have you been in a restaurant on a date and probably there's someone next to you that's alone? How many times are you sitting there looking at them thinking, oh, they're all alone. Wow. No, you're not thinking of that. If you are, you need to get on a different date because your partner is not interesting enough. So we think people are constantly thinking of us. They are not. We have way too much going on to constantly be thinking about others. So that's number one, how to drop the self-consciousness. Understand people are not thinking about you as much as they think, as much as we think. Okay. So self-consciousness stops men from seeing and approaching you. Why? Because they want to be the one hunting. When you are self-conscious, you are hunting. You are in the mode of, all right, let me make sure that this person is controlled and this person likes me and this person sees that I didn't just trip and that I'm okay. We're in the mode of hunting. That is not what we are here to do as women. We are here to play. We're here to enjoy life. We are here to bring that juicy magnetism and feminine energy. That's why when you are so in your own world and you're just so in that mode of pleasure and flowing with life, men approach everywhere. This is what I noticed when I first moved to Dubai. I used to think maybe it's just the culture out here, but it's because I stopped being outward focused and I started being inward focused. When I moved to Dubai, everything was new. I was soaking up the experience, soaking up the weather and the smell of the perfumes and the smell of delicious foods, and how wonderful it was to be able to walk on a beach and to have sunlight all of the time. Because I was so in that mode of pleasure, men were coming out everywhere. I would go for walks at 10 p.m. I would think, all right, everybody's in for the night. No, men come out of nowhere. Hi, how are you? And it's this energy that keeps you as a magnet, not just for men in relationships, that's great, but also for your dream career, for your dream lifestyle, for your dream friendships. You become so magnetic. Okay. What else did I want to say about this? So mainly we're going to be focusing on blocks in business, and not just business. I mean finances, I mean career, knowing what you are here to do, knowing what your biggest passion is, but also blocks in romance. I think these are my two favorite things to talk about, is men and money, how they're connected. You ladies know I love talking about this. I actually have a live stream called How Men and Money Are Connected. I will go ahead and put that in the description for you ladies. Okay, let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, let me check the chat before we move on to the next part. How are you ladies? Happy New Year. I cannot believe tomorrow is December 31st. This is absolutely crazy. And then it's 2025. I swear I was just making the New Year, New Level Up video in 2023. I was just making this with you ladies. It is so crazy. Yes. Hi, Joelle. Hi, Leah. I love it. Yes. Hi from Liverpool. Oh, I love it. Hi, ladies. Yeah, this is definitely different from my usual time that I go live because I'm back on US time. So I'm really happy to be here. Ooh, is hunting taught in men or just in them? It's in their nature. It is in their DNA to hunt. However, this can be, how would I say it? The quality of the skill of hunting can be strengthened as a man does his inner work. That's the beautiful part about men doing inner work, is they become better hunters. They become stronger and just more precise in every area of their life. Their business, their finances level up. But this also happens for women when they do inner work. Their relationships, the women that they desire, it becomes so clear. That's why men who are in healthy masculine energy, they want one partner. They're not here hooking up with a bunch of women. Their hunting skills become so sharpened because they know who they are as a man. Their mission and their purpose becomes very clear. They're very in tune with themselves. So because they're in tune with themselves, they're ready for the match of the woman who is in tune with herself. And you cannot be a man in tune and connected to yourself and your highest purpose and pursuing multiple women at the same time, sleeping with multiple women at the same time. That's how you can tell if a man is in his healthy masculine energy. And if you ladies watched the live stream that my mom and I just did together on Queen Consciousness, we were talking about how there's levels to consciousness. And at the bottom here, it's when our consciousness is turned off and we're living a very low self-awareness, animalistic type of life, not very emotional, intelligent, not in tune with our body, with our desires. Well, when men are living in this mode, they're very connected to their animalistic nature. What you will usually see is these men are not faithful and they don't treat women really well. Why this is because the less conscious a person is, the more animalistic they are. I've talked about this a couple years ago on this channel. When someone is more animalistic, what are they thinking? I need to mate, I need to get food, I need to be in that savage energy to just hunt and kill and destroy. It's so short-term focused. So when a man is very faithful, he's very loyal, he's very dedicated to his one queen, always what you will see is he has a high level of consciousness. If you ever see those interviews on TikTok about men and women being interviewed, and maybe the interviewer will ask, how much is your ring? Okay, here's what's so funny. This is why I love this topic. I just was talking about how men and money are connected. Look at this, how men who are interviewed and they're asked, how much was your fiance or your wife's ring worth? The higher the ring cost, the higher level of consciousness that man has. Majority of the time, I will say. Listen to the way that the men, let's say that a man paid, there's men who are like, I paid $600 for this ring. I got this ring from a gumball machine. Always, what I have seen in these interviews is the way that they talk about their wife or fiance is horrible. They do not respect her. They do not treat her well. Usually, he doesn't have a career, is probably broke, probably cursing and swearing in the interview, doesn't have healthy friendships or connections to his family. He's at a lower level of consciousness. He cannot create and bring his desires to life. The higher your level of consciousness, the easier it is to just think and envision and create and attract. Anyways, the men who are spending higher amounts of money, like 10K, 50K, 100K on these rings, always, that woman that is standing next to him is glowing. Her posture, tall, confident. He respects her. He talks so highly of her. And there was one interview that I saw where the interviewer, he had said a question like, do you think you're worth that amount? And her fiance or her husband, he goes, excuse me, I will answer this one for you. And he goes on to talk about how much value her feminine energy, just her being, provides for him. And so there's always a connection. Higher levels of consciousness, there's more respect in the relationship, higher levels of polarity and romance. And just a bonus, that man, that woman that he's with, usually they attract money very easily. That's why he's able to afford such a nice ring. And so that's why anytime you ladies tell me this man, he's trying to split the bills with me, he's telling me, what do I bring to the table? He's telling me that I'm not as valuable as I think. I guarantee you he's broke and he's at a low level of consciousness. That is why I encourage you to be with a man that is healthy masculine energy and that provides. Because if he provides, he probably has a healthy relationship with money. He definitely understands the value of your feminine energy. And he's going to be able to not just attract money easily, but any desires that you two have for your kingdom, for your family, for your vision together. He's going to be able to lead and bring that into reality. So it's so much deeper than just how much money does he make? Does he provide? It's what is his relationship with money? Because there's actually a lot of clues in there. Okay, this could be a whole other video. Let's get back on topic. Self-consciousness. Funny, we were just talking about levels of consciousness though. Okay, self-consciousness. So self-consciousness adds skepticism to your energy. So when we are self-conscious, what we're always doing is we're outward focused. Our energy is thinking, what do others think about me? So you're usually fixing or tweaking things about yourself to come across a certain way. Because remember, it comes down to extreme control of yourself in order to control others' perception of you. That's what self-consciousness is. And so I was just talking about this with the girls in book club yesterday, which, hey ladies, by the way, I'm going to be talking about this sweatshirt and how you can get one very shortly. We just had book club yesterday. So fun as always. And we were talking about, I don't remember how this came up, but it was something along the lines of when people that we talk with, when we feel that the conversation is awkward, but we are not an awkward person, but somehow it's just awkward talking with that person. It is because in that person's energy, they feel very self-conscious. And so it causes us to become self-conscious because as humans, we're always mirroring back other humans' emotions. It's just how we are as humans, part of our behavior. When someone's self-conscious, we feel self-conscious. And now there's this awkward loop of stuttering and, how are you? Oh, like handshake, and then someone goes in for a hug. If there was zero self-consciousness, there would be no awkward conversations. And so when we are self-conscious ourselves, now what happens when we interact with other people, they feel self-conscious. And maybe they came in feeling very confident, they had a good morning, they've been doing their routine, and now they're talking to someone who is unsure of themselves and doesn't truly feel confident enough to just show up how you are. Now it causes them to feel self-conscious and it doesn't feel good. It's like dropping from a high vibration to a low vibration. Also with self-consciousness, this is the message that it's sending out. I don't feel good enough as I am. Let me polish myself to create a certain image. So it's saying who I am, my beingness is not good enough. Do you like to hang around people who don't feel that they are good enough? I definitely don't. These are the people usually, and I used to be this way in high school for sure. That's how I know I don't like this energy. These are usually the people that are saying, do I look fat in these jeans? Oh, I'm just so ugly today. Or, oh, everyone just hates me. Boys don't find me attractive. It's the victim hunting for compliments, fishing for approval. It feels icky, especially when you've done inner work. It's like, girl, just get it together. Go do some inner work. Go and journal this out. Don't bounce these ideas off of me because I don't want this in my energy field. I've done so much to protect and to fuel and to nourish my mind that this isn't going to fuel me. This feels like junk food for my brain to have these conversations. And so when we show up with self-consciousness, it sends out this cue, I'm not good enough. Who I am is not okay. I have to add this polish so that I am okay. And other people now feel like they have to do the same. And it does not feel good. That is why when you drop the self-consciousness and you're just so free, you just wear the outfit that you want, you talk how you want, you just show up as you are, people are so drawn to you. And even if you've been showing up self-consciously this whole time in life, right now you can decide to change. Literally, it's as simple as that, saying, I'm done with this. I'm not available to be self-conscious. It is not serving me. It's been a part of my identity until this second. So let's talk about some tips on how to condition your mind to be a woman who's just authentic and free. And I had talked about this in one of the courses. I think it was the Glow Print. That's my coaching program if you want to become a coach. So in the Glow Print, I think it was the Glow Print, talking about how the number one most attractive quality, I believe research had found a few years ago that the number one back then was, it was gratitude. You know how, especially during COVID, everyone was saying the highest vibrational frequency that you can be is a person that is just overflowing in gratitude. Not anymore. Something tops that. Does anyone want to guess what it is? If you're one of my students in the programs, don't guess. I already know that you know. Let's see. Yes, Anna, that's my girl, authenticity. Research has found authentic, love, confidence. Okay, beautiful guesses. Research has found in this last, I believe, year or year and a half that the number one most attractive, highest vibrational frequency is authenticity. And so people who are swimming in authentic energy, they are the most magnetic, most captivating, most attractive. Why? Because we desire to be like that. However we desire to be, we unconsciously seek those people out to be in our circle, to be our friends, our partners. So imagine if you are swimming in authenticity, how magnetic you would become in your business, how magnetic you would become in relationships. Maybe you're in a relationship right now. Just imagine you make this switch. Imagine the dynamics that it's going to change in your relationship. I love this question because I wrote this down to answer even before the live stream started. Where did it go? How do I get over the fear of becoming a coach? We're going to talk about it, girl. And also I recommend getting the Glow Print. That entire program is designed to take you from not knowing anything about how to be a coach to I'm ready to coach my first client today. So I believe there's about 12 sessions. Each session is 2.5 hours. We just wrapped up the Glow Print about 2 months ago, maybe. It is one of my favorite programs. So take a look at that. But here's what I'll also tell you. Remove the self-consciousness and you're ready to become a coach. We'll get into more details in just a bit. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here's how to switch from being self-conscious to being authentic. And what I noticed, especially with myself, is I dropped the self-consciousness, but there were still ways that it was popping up. Even today, I catch moments, I'm like, wait a second, Alexis, that's not a part of our identity. Let's switch it. And this is how I switch it. Number one, change the internal programming first. That is the most important. Usually what happens when doing inner work, people will change the bad habit first. So for example, maybe the bad habit is I constantly overeat. Here's what people will do. Let me just eat less. Let me just decide that, okay, at dinner, I'm going to meal prep and I'm not allowed to eat anything besides this chicken and rice and Brussels sprouts. And then the next morning, okay, I'm only having eggs and a protein shake. I'm not going to overeat. What's happening here is people are recognizing the bad habit, beautiful, but the mistake is changing the habit before changing the programming. And what will happen? A few days later, a few weeks later, one meal, they will overeat. It will lead to binge eating, and it will lead to this cycle of guilt and shame and the pattern of, well, I already overate. I'm just going to keep overeating. I already messed up. Let me just keep doing this. It's not just, this is just a small example. Same with, what's another example? Okay, I love this one because this one I very much relate to. I'm always late. That's my bad habit. Let's say that's what you're feeling. I'm always late. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stop being late. I decide that when I meet up with my friend for coffee tomorrow, I'm going to get there not at 12 when we plan to meet, but at 11:57. And maybe you do that. Maybe you get there at 11:57 and you think, woohoo, now I am early. What will happen? You have a meeting with another friend later that night, and somehow you end up getting there 2 minutes late. Then you're thinking, oh, okay, I'll just restart this tomorrow. The problem, why this doesn't last and why this doesn't change the habit and get rid of it for good, is because the habit is being changed, not the programming. Let's go back to the food example. If you wanted to truly change that habit and make it last, this is the inner work that you would do. I recognize that I have a bad habit of overeating. Okay. Why do I overeat? It's first asking that question. This is the shadow work because it's seeing that side that is scary, that maybe you don't want to face. It's seeing that, pulling it out, and looking at it right in front of you. Okay, maybe I overeat because when I was a kid and there was a lot of trauma in my house, food was our comfort. Or maybe it's when I'm stressed out, the dopamine release that I get from food makes me feel good. Okay, so now that you can see some of the programming, here's what you decide to do. Change it, rewrite it. It is truly as simple as this. That's why I love inner work. It's so easy if you do this step instead. Decide to change it. Okay, I decide that instead of using food to either feel good and connect back to this childhood moment or to release dopamine, I now view food and view my time eating my meals as nourishment for my body. I now see that food is medicine. You start to change the programming. Okay, well, if I see that food is medicine, when my body is telling me that I'm full, when I've eaten my dinner, I'm going to no longer choose to overeat because if food is medicine and I've just given myself the daily dose, I'm finished. The food is healing my body right now as it's digesting, done. Another way is, let's say that you eat a lot of junk food. When you change the programming and you realize when I eat, I nourish my body. If I'm throwing trash into my precious temple, yikes. My body deserves so much better. Now when you see your body as this temple, you start to see food differently. This is how you get the long-term impact. This is how you change habits for good. Because now that you have understood food is medicine, and to feed my body is to nourish it, not to hurt it. Now the overeating becomes no longer attractive to you. And you'll do it less and less. And soon, your mind and those neural pathways of binge eating, overeating, and eating junk food, those neural pathways will shrink because you're not doing it anymore and because you've changed and created new neural pathways to see food differently. When you grow these new pathways inside of your mind, now the way that you view food is different for good. The other example of being late. So here's what I would do. I would maybe look at that and say, instead of being addicted to stress and being addicted to suffering, I'm only available for ease. I am a woman that's no longer here for stress. I'm a woman that's here for relaxation and ease. When you make that your new core belief and you truly desire that, and you begin affirming, I'm only available for ease. Now, when you go to show up late or you go to a meeting, instead of being addicted to suffering, you have changed that internal programming and your body goes, if I'm only available for ease, it doesn't make sense to lay in bed for an extra 5 minutes. Let me get up now because I'm available for relaxation only. That is how you change habits for good. So with self-consciousness, rather than saying, okay, I'm not going to be self-conscious anymore, change your programming to only be a woman who is available for authenticity. This is going to change your life. When I made this decision, it was about 4 years ago. I said, you know what? I'm tired of caring what other people think. I've been doing this my whole life. What would happen if I just changed it up? That's how you do inner work, is you just ask what if and you play with it. Don't make it a end all be all thing, because if I had said, I'm only going to be authentic forever, now it seems a bit more scary from my mind. So I just went, what if? What if I'm only authentic? Let's just try it out for the next few weeks, see how it is. Suddenly, I stopped explaining myself when I would do things. So an example, I still wore makeup during COVID. I dressed up, I wore makeup, not in the beginning, but more like 6 months in. And I stopped explaining myself to family. They would ask, why are you wearing makeup? You're not going anywhere. We're in a pandemic. Thank you for noticing. Instead of, well, I really just want to feel good and I feel like I'm in a slump and also I love playing with makeup. It feels like art. Nope. Thank you for noticing. That's it. And then what did this lead to? I was just talking about this in the recent video with my mom, how much this changed my life during COVID. I would turn on YouTube on our family TV. I would turn on belly dance lessons, Latin dance lessons, and I would just dance in the living room so freely. And this is a big thing for me because it was so awkward and uncomfortable. And I have 3 younger siblings. I have my mom in the house. Everyone's like, what is she doing? And I just let the self-consciousness melt away. If you can do something to move your body while you are changing the programming, you're gold. That's going to be so key for you. So as I'm moving, I'm imagining the self-consciousness just falling away. And I'm so free in my body. And now when I go to host a retreat, I'm not sitting there thinking, what's everyone thinking about me? Is this weird? Is my voice weird? Is my body weird? Because I was doing Zumba in my living room with my family watching. It's those little things that allow you to go and do greater things in life that you never thought that you could. The things that take so much confidence and courage. It starts with you in your living room deciding to let the self-consciousness melt away in front of your family. And the thing is, if you can do this inner work with your family, you're good. It is way more difficult to do inner work with family because they know you already. And so when you are with someone who knows you so well, it's often hard for us to change because we think, well, they're going to think that I'm fake. They know me so well, and when they see this new version, are they going to be okay with it? Rather than with a stranger, it's like, they don't know me. Let me just show up as this vixen today. You can be whoever you want. Well, be whoever you want right now with the people who know you the best. If you can do that, you can do anything. Okay, so change the internal belief for one area of self-consciousness. Another example of this, I used to be very, very self-conscious of my skin. I had really, really bad, I don't want to say really bad acne. I had a lot of acne. I thought that it was bad. So in high school through college, years and years, I struggled with cystic acne, hormonal acne. It was all over my cheeks, my forehead, my chin. And I tell people this now and they're like, no, we don't believe that. Then I show them pictures. They're like, oh, I had a lot. And it really, really wounded my feminine energy because it made me just want to hide and not be seen anymore. Well, when I would go and talk with people, I remember my mom said something and it changed my life. Whenever I would talk with people, which first of all I avoided because I didn't want them to see my skin, I would always think they're looking at my skin, they're looking at my skin. I was so self-conscious and it would just make me so rigid and tight in my body and in my energy. Then I wonder why I couldn't attract anything when I was younger. So in this energy, I remember my mom said to me one day, Alexis, you think everyone is looking at your skin. Nobody is looking. The first thing that they look at is your smile. You have great teeth. You never had braces and you're so lucky, girl. Think about that. Then they look at your eyes and then they hear your voice. Maybe they'll notice your skin, but what are they going to do with that information? And I thought, whoa, this whole time I've been avoiding going out and I've been so self-conscious and not talking to the people that I wanted because I was so self-conscious. They're looking at my skin. Change the way that you look at things and the things that you look at will change. So I started seeing and I started rewiring in my mind. When people look at me, they're looking at my smile. That's what I just started telling myself. And it became true. I started getting more compliments on my smile. That would be the first thing that people would say. You have such a nice smile. And I thought, this is weird. I created this reality in my mind first and now it's happening. That is actually what happens. 18-year-old me just did not know that at the time. And if I had gone back, it just breaks my heart now that younger me was thinking that she was not worthy because of her skin. I wish that I could go back. Things would be so different. I just would have shown up so free. Like, yeah, I have some bumps on my skin. I need to figure out what's going on with my gut. Thank God later I did. But until then, I'm still me. Nothing is changing internally. The only thing that's changing is my energy, depending on how I see it. Christine, my dear Christine. I love this because I had decided 2 days ago that I would stop hiding parts of myself from my family, specifically my parents, simply because I don't want to face their judgment. Yeah, girl, I am so proud of you for this. That is huge. And once you can do that, you're good. Like you can be anybody that you want to be, any new identity, any new type of feminine energy. I love it. Yes. We cover this in the magnetically polarizing program. There are different archetypes that you can switch your energy into, the seduction archetypes. They're so life-changing because when you know that other archetypes exist, it gives you permission to play with new identities, new ways of showing up in your feminine energy. And it's so fun. For example, my mom is the natural. And I have a friend who is definitely the charismatic. I have a friend who is the charmer. And it's really cool being able to just give yourself permission to play with new energies. Before this live stream, I was having a private coaching call with one of my clients, and we were talking about switching and playing with new energies. And she already does this so well. So we were talking about going the next level. For example, this will actually help release self-consciousness too, now that I'm thinking about it. If you are someone who is very mysterious, very quiet, more reserved, maybe you feel very connected to the dark feminine energy, but it's very hard to be in the light, like bubbly, playful feminine energy. If you can sprinkle in moments of being playful, being childlike, being silly and like super happy, if you can just sprinkle that in to different moments of your life, watch the way that people respond to you change. Because now you're breaking up this pattern of how your energy shows up. There's so much science behind it. This is gonna have to be a whole other video in itself. But for now, just give yourself permission to play with new types of your feminine energy. And if you want to go a step deeper, look at the session on seduction archetypes inside the magnetically polarizing program. I think that lesson alone is the longest one out of all of the lessons in there because it's so potent. There's so many archetypes to get through. But also it's really life-changing once you know how to switch your energy, how to play with different archetypes, especially in relationships. It keeps it so spicy and it keeps that polarity really strong. Okay, so that was number one. Change your internal belief for one area of self-consciousness. Pick an area, whether it's you feel self-conscious of your skin, or my content creator girls, you feel self-conscious to say the savage thing that you really want to say online. Pick one area and decide to change the belief. My girls who are coaches or who want to be coaches, here's what I was saying for my girl who was asking earlier. coming back to your point, if you feel I want to become a coach or I want to become a content creator, but I am so scared what my family, my friends, my coworkers will think, I want you to change your internal programming to this. What did I write here? Yes. When I show up as this coach, content creator, when I show up as this coach, I am activating the frequency of you get to change your life path and be whoever you want to be. I am in that vibrational frequency and I am activating it for other people. Often, this will be triggering for other people. That is okay. I am doing my job. When you decide, maybe you've been working a 9 to 5 and you decide all of a sudden, I actually want to be a feminine energy coach, or I want to be a health coach. I want to help women with their hormones or with their relationships. When you go from the way of the world to the way of your soul, now what will happen is you have stepped into this frequency of you get to create your life path. And when you are in this frequency, people are so magnetized to you. Why? Because they want to do it themselves. Everyone wants to just throw away all of the ways of the world and just follow what their soul is saying. You know how some people will just randomly move to Bali and become a yoga coach or a yoga instructor? Deep down, most people want to do this. They want to stop doing the boring routine and just follow what their heart wants. But usually there's blocks, not real blocks. They've just created these as blocks. That's a whole other discussion of I don't have the money to do that. I'm in a marriage, so I can't. I have kids, so I can't. Other people can, but not me. They create these blocks to keep themselves safe, to keep themselves in this routine. It's too boring. Life is way too short to keep that path. That's why I love the Glow Girl community, because the things that you ladies are doing with life, the way that you are following your heart, almost every week I get a new message saying, Alexis, I quit my job and I'm following my dream. Alexis, I went to my boss and I said I'm walking away if I do not get this pay increase. Now I'm being paid triple my old salary. There's so many brave inner work shifts that you ladies are making, and I am just so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I can't even imagine what this next year is going to do for you. When you are in this energy, it activates others to do the same, because we all crave to be wild and free like this. And so if you are someone who's struggling to show up as a coach or a content creator, reprogram your mind. Yep, I'm scared because people are going to get triggered, but I'm happy to trigger them. Because if I was never triggered myself, I would still be in the same mindset, doing the same boring routine thing. And I'm made for so much more. So that is how you shift your programming there. Okay, number 2, this one is my favorite. I've talked about this in the Master Your Feminine Energy course. I've talked about this on YouTube. We're gonna say it again because it's so important. If you want to stop being self-conscious, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the gym. You are going to go to the stretching area or any floor area, put down a yoga mat, and you are going to sit there. You are going to meditate. Just close your eyes, get back to yourself. That's all that I mean. You're going to sit there in public and just melt that self-consciousness away. When I first did this, I don't know where this idea came from. It was during COVID. I was just thinking, you know what? I want to do something that I'm scared to do. Something that I could walk away from feeling really bold. And I did this at the gym. I could feel, my eyes were closed, but I could feel, or maybe I was just creating it. People were like, that's so weird. What is she doing? No one just sits and meditates on the floor like this. People are stretching, they're doing workouts there. I've never seen someone meditate. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just do it. Do something that scares you every day. And next year, you won't even recognize yourself. Anyways, if you want to melt away self-consciousness, do this. And do not get up from the floor until the self-consciousness has melted away. I guarantee you, first of all, most people are not stopping their workout and going, that girl is so weird. Why is she meditating on the floor right now? Is she a yoga person? Is she into spirituality, whatever? No, you're just a woman on your inner work journey. So do not get up off the floor until you have melted all those opinions, all that self-consciousness away, and you're just connected to yourself. You will know because you're starting to think about thoughts and desires that have been pushed down because you haven't given yourself the time to feel them. You'll start getting all these ideas of where you want to travel, and conversations from the past might start replaying. These will start coming up, repressed emotions. You will know that you have connected back to yourself and you have blocked out the outside world. Why this is so key is because when you can block out the outside world and you can hold that pose, you carry it into your real life. So when you're able to sit on the floor and do that for 5 minutes, now you're creating those neural pathways in your brain to go, other people do not matter. And they actually don't exist until I open my eyes. So if your eyes are open, you are going to be seeing all of these people and making assumptions about them that if your eyes were closed, would not exist. Okay, there's my dog because my family's just getting home. Oliver, hi, can you say hi? He's wearing his Christmas PJs. My mom got us all Christmas pajamas for Christmas and they match with Oliver, so. Speaking of this, now is a beautiful moment to finally share this with you ladies. So we did something. We have new merch for book club. Even if you're not a part of the book club, but you want a cozy, girly, feminine glow sweatshirt, here you go. I designed these a couple of months ago and Annie, my assistant, and I have finally released them. I was looking for weeks and weeks for a company, for a clothing brand that could design custom embroidery like how we have it. So let me actually just show you the sweatshirt. So it says book club. It says physically here, mentally in another world. Of course, this is actually us meditating with that last point though. And it says Glow Girls Book Club, established last year. So finally, ladies, we have these. I thought that it would be so fun to match while we do book club. Book club, it's just a space for us to read and get together every month. There's about like 3,000 girls in book club now. And we have Zoom meetings every month where we just talk about the book that we're reading. We talk about inner work, and it's just a really fun, girly, safe space. So the link to that is on the feminineglow.com homepage. Just scroll to the bottom where you can find book club. But anyways, I put the link for these in the description of this live stream. So just go down to where it says, where is it? Book club sweatshirts, and you can grab one. They're about $55 to make as a cost. I'm selling them for $60. I just want you ladies to have them. It is a bit higher if it's international because of that shipping. But the beautiful part is Annie, she found a woman who does custom embroidery on Etsy. It was such a mission to find these, and she has a small business. So we're also supporting a small female business owner on Etsy who is making these for us. I just designed the logo, sent it, and she embroiders it so beautifully. So I love it. Okay, anyways. Back to this point. So meditate, melt away the self-consciousness. When you get up off the floor, you will be a different woman. You are someone who can sit and connect to herself, connect to her feminine energy while the world around you moves on. And maybe people look at you. Maybe you, let's say you even hear someone laugh. Beautiful if that happens, because now your nervous system is getting triggered. And if someone laughs at you, your body is going, we can handle this. Imagine what will happen to your career, to your lifestyle, if your nervous system can hold the laughter of someone else without getting triggered. Because truly you're just a reflection of that person. And your nervous system now understands that. If someone is laughing at you, can you imagine any woman in the Glow Girl community laughing at someone meditating? I would say, girl, you are not a part of this community. You've got some inner work to do. When we judge someone else, it's because they are mirroring back something in us that we are uncomfortable with. And so really they're just laughing at themselves and you happen to be the mirror sitting in front of them. But isn't that true with every part of life? If you want to be a content creator and people are going, that's so weird. What does she know about this topic? You just happen to be the mirror for all of the desires that they have pushed down and are too afraid to pull up. So stop letting other people control your life. Life is way too short. Life is way too good to let other people control it. All right. Let's see. Let me let my dog out real quick. He's gonna want to go and see my family. Oliver, do you want to go outside? Okay. All right. Let me check the chat. Alexis, I quit my position of 22 years to finish another degree and be a nutrition consultant. I have been on my new journey since August, but I think I'm going to have to go back because I'm broke. That could be the reality, or you could choose another one. So that energy that you used when you stepped out and said, I'm done with this, this is not aligned, I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to study nutrition. Take that energy and bring it back to life. What I would actually do is, nutrition consultant, I would get back into that energy by making a vision board. Who would be your dream client? What would your dream business look like? Would it be that you are a nutrition consultant working with women? Are you hosting retreats? Are you doing one-on-one Zoom calls? And you have your dream schedule. Get such a clear picture of what your dream life looks like as a nutrition consultant. You've got to bring that energy back, because what happens is your rubber band stretches, and the last part, I have to go back because I'm broke, snapped. When things get too good, our nervous system goes, we cannot hold this, snap. Bring the rubber band back and stretch it by envisioning what it would feel like to go back to your dream. And so, for example, for me, I thought, well, my dream would be to wake up whenever I want. It would be to work from home. It would be to be able to travel and work. I remember one time I was in Mexico. It was such a special trip. It was my first big trip. My mom took me after I graduated college, and I was there sitting in the pool at this resort and thinking, my dream would be to be at a resort, to be on vacation and working, having my own business. So I could be in Mexico and be working on my business. I could stay as long as I wanted. That was my reality. Literally 2 weeks ago in Thailand, I took my mom on a trip for her birthday. And actually, it's so funny, that full circle moment, because I remember when my mom took me, I thought, this is such a great trip. And it was a big stretch for her financially. And I thought, I want to give her a trip like that when I can. So I took her to Thailand for her birthday. And when we were there, I was on my laptop looking out at the ocean from our room thinking, oh my gosh, that vision has become a reality. I am working on my dream business in my dream location. And so on that vision board, what I want you to do, my girl, is envision what your dream nutrition consultancy life would look like. It's going to stretch your rubber band, bring it back, strengthen it. And anytime the old programming comes up, melt it away. You're not available for it. If you don't feel comfortable with meditating, you can just do something such as praying. For example, if you go out to a restaurant and you pray before a meal, before you eat, that will also melt away self-consciousness. I know, because this used to be me. I remember thinking, this is so weird to pray before a meal, but that's my time where I can just get back to my relationship with God and thank him that I'm, first of all, alive, and just thank him for everything that I'm so grateful for. So when I pray before a meal out in public, I used to be so self-conscious about that. And I remember one time there was actually a family member who would judge and shame me for this. And I remember thinking, this is so weird, because I have friends who are Muslim who pray multiple times a day, and never once have I looked at them and thought, this is so weird. Never once. Yet this person thinks it's so weird that I pray. How strange is it that we have such different mindsets? If you can become curious about why other people are so judgmental, their judgment means nothing to you, because you realize, wow, this is just a different part about them. Has nothing to do with me. And also you will attract those people less. Let's see, number 3. Okay, this is the last point, and then we'll go to the live chat. So content creators. This one is especially for you, my girls. Content creators, anyone who's on social media. And even if you're not, this will still help you if you post anything online. I want you to think less and post more. Think less, post more. All the time, whenever I say less thinking, more doing, people always come for me, but I'm just going to stick with it. Think less. What I mean by this is rather than spending 20 minutes perfecting your Instagram caption, say what's on your heart, write it out, even if there's typos, review it once and post. Rather than spending 40 minutes filming yourself saying one intro until you get it perfect, film it once and be done. Remember what we were talking about, how authenticity is the highest vibration. When you are constantly changing and like perfecting and editing how much you post, how perfect your post is, it's dropping the authenticity and people can feel it. If you ever struggle with wanting to post but you don't, or it takes you hours to do it, or you procrastinate, I guarantee you that there's a bit of perfectionism or self-consciousness coming up. If no one else's opinion mattered and you were just posting for your own scrapbook memories to show your future kids or just for yourself, how much differently would you post? I'm posting a collage of photos from all the retreats this year. So I was just working on that before this live stream and I was thinking, wow, I used to struggle posting so much because it would take me forever to figure out a caption. I would think, is this professional enough? Is this okay enough? How about I just post what's on my heart and it works out for the best? And it always does. When it's easy, that is when you know that you're authentic. When it's difficult, that's when you know that you're more self-conscious. Feminine energy should feel easy. It should feel good. It should flow. It should keep you in your heart. It should keep you in your body, not your head. So think less, post more. I remember I was posting something the other day, my family, so how I was talking about the matching pajamas, I really wanted to just post. So we were going to go and see the new movie Mufasa, which, okay, we're going to come back to that movie in just a second. But my mom, my brother, and I, we were wearing our matching pajamas. I had made a bunch of homemade popcorn for us. And we had these bags filled with snacks. We always go to the movies like this. And I was thinking, guys, I really want to take a video of us and post it on my Instagram story. And I did. But a couple years ago, maybe even a year and a half ago, I would have never done that because I would have thought, I'm in my pajamas, my family's in our pajamas. Are we cringy for this? Are we weird for this? But no, we were just there. We were just having fun, just playing. And that story got so many more interactions, so many more hearts on it than any of my other stories, because we're just so free. And the beautiful thing, when I told my family that, I saw this side of my younger brother come out and he was just dancing on camera. I don't know if you ladies saw this. It's in my, I think it's in my 2024 highlights. My little brother was just dancing. He was just having so much fun. And I thought, it's so nice to see the side of him come out. When you are less self-conscious and you just follow what's on your heart, you inspire other people to do the same around you. You want to know how to be addictive in your romantic relationship. Be so authentic that you give your partner permission to be the man that he has always wanted to be, but never felt safe enough to be. When you open up your feminine energy, he will open up his masculine energy. There are points when women lead more in the relationship. This is one of them. You almost always lead with the inner work. You lead by opening up and embodying that energy yourself and inviting him in energetically to do the same. So I just think it's so beautiful how it works. Yeah, so post in your pajamas. That's the last point. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to. Just be the woman who your 100-year-old self would look back at and say, she did everything that her heart wanted. I'm so proud of every decision that we made. Be the woman that your teenage self would look at and think, how does she sew herself? How is she so free? How is she just, she doesn't care what other people think. How proud would your teenage self be of you? My teenage self would think I am the coolest woman in the world compared to how I used to be. Show up for her, because the truth is your teenage self is still inside and she wants you to break that side open for her. So these are the notes that I have, ladies. Now I'm going to check into the chat. This is my favorite part. I feel like we haven't just had time to live stream and say hi and check in. Let's see. Thank you so much. Zari! Okay, Zari is one of my brilliant, beautiful students. Thank you, Alexis. I was just planning to go live. Zari, I'm so proud of you, girl. You'll have to post a live stream in our Facebook group so we can see it. Yep. Mm. Okay, this is such a good question. So, how do you not overshare in posting while still making sure you show up authentically, knowing your boundaries beforehand? So, for me, an example, one of my boundaries is I don't post bikini pictures. And so, me showing up authentically, let's say that I'm at the beach with a friend and I am wearing a bikini and she's taking a video of me. Well, I would still be my free self and still have fun and pose, whatever, but I probably wouldn't post that picture on my Instagram if I'm just in a bikini top. However, if I am, let's see another example. Let's say that my bikini's underneath and I'm wearing a dress over the top. Well, I would still just show up free in that moment and I would look and say, okay, my boundary is honored. I'm not showing myself in a bikini. That's not for everyone to see. Well, then I know that I can still post it freely and still authentically because I know my boundary beforehand. Another example, I don't like, I don't know if that's the best example. Let's see. I don't post things where I'm swearing, or I don't post like movies. I try not to post movies where there's swearing or a lot of language. So if there's a scene where there's a lot of swearing, but I still want to show you ladies maybe a feminine, masculine dynamic on this movie that I'm watching, I will just crop out the part where they're swearing and I'm still able to show up authentically, but also I have my boundary. I'm not going to promote doing this. It's not my style. It's not my brand. Yes. So I would say it's just knowing your boundaries beforehand. That's how you can show up authentically. Oh, I see. That's helpful. Thank you, girl. Just made my 2025 vision board. So excited for what's to come. Maya, I'm so excited for you. Who has made their vision board for 2025 already? I cannot believe that it's in 2 days. This is insane. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Alexis. How do I stop feeling shallow or greedy when expressing my desire for financial abundance to God while praying? Beautiful question. How I would stop feeling greedy is I would read the Word of God. I would read specifically what God says about money and about finances. I would educate myself to see the blueprint for how God wants me to use money. Because before I actually read the Bible, I used to think having a lot of money was greedy until I learned that fools have poverty and the wise have wealth. When I read that in the scripture, I thought, what in the world have I been doing? And where did I get this limiting belief from? I started seeing that God actually wants us to have wealth, and that when the love of money overpowers the love for God, that's when it turns into greed. And so I need to be conscious that I don't love money, that I don't make an idol out of money, but I still allow myself to have it and I form a good relationship with money. I would especially read the book of Proverbs. So I would read God's word to see what he says about money because that blew my mind. And that's also what gave me permission to have money, to be able to hold it. The Bible also talks about being generous and how to invest, how to use your money wisely. It was either in the glow print or it was in a live stream where, so I would look at my recent video, what was it called? There was a money inner work training that I just put out for you, girl. Let me find it. Money inner work that will change your life. I will put this in the description for you ladies. I would watch this video because I talk about how when there's a story in the Bible about, I won't go into the full story because I talk about it in this video, but when you save and you hold on to money so much, the servant who did this in the story was punished for holding on and for being in so much scarcity with money, versus the man who took that money, went and invested it, went and did something and multiplied it and created wealth for himself. He was rewarded. And the moral of that story is when you receive money and talents and gifts from God, go and multiply it. That is what you are here to do. When you don't, and you are in scarcity, and you try to control the money so much, and you feel that it's limited, you will lose it and you will be punished. And so God wants us to have wealth. He wants us to build wealth. He does not want us to become hungry and greedy for money. There's a difference between being greedy for money and then acquiring wealth. I would look at the video, Money Inner Work, that will change your life. Let me just make a note to put this in the description. Okay. Christine, I'm so happy that you came, girl. Thank you so much. A good place to start with reading the Bible is the Bible Recap by, I believe it's by Tara Lee Cobble. That's how I read the whole Bible in 1 year. I did that plan twice, where before I had been so scared to read the Bible. She makes it so easy because she reads it in chronological order. And then she also gives you, so you will read scripture for maybe like 10, 15 minutes a day. And then you follow it up with a 10-minute podcast of her explaining what you just read in the Bible. It is so good. It changed my life. I did that maybe 3 years ago while I was doing my deep, deep inner work. And that together has just, it has changed my life. Let's see. I always forget to drink my kombucha. My question is, why do you think some people are perfectionists? And how can you heal from it? Having a parent or having an environment that put a lot of pressure on you to perform, that praised you for achievements, that saw your worth as what you could do, what you could create, how you could achieve, that can cause you to become a perfectionist. I definitely had an environment that was like this, where my mom was really, really good about praising me for my inner qualities, for kindness, for being loving, for taking care of others. She praised my inner qualities. But there were also moments in my environment where I was praised for my grades, where I was praised for how good I could behave. My good girls, my girls who struggle with connecting to dark feminine energy, this one, I so relate to you because I was praised for being a good girl. I have so many videos on how to break free from the good girl mask on this channel. Also, magnetically polarizing will level you up in that area. That's the course, how to turn on your life force energy and not only just take off the good girl mask, but put on a new mask of this woman who is so charged up with dark feminine energy, so brought to life in her boundaries and her standards, and gives herself permission to just be so free and so alive. I didn't have that because I was praised for being a good girl. So I had to learn how to do that through inner work. And I love teaching it. It is my favorite thing to teach. So having an environment that praises you for performance can turn you into a perfectionist. It can make you feel that your worth comes from success and what you do rather than who you are. That's also why when I notice with coaching, a lot of my girls who struggle with allowing a man to provide, it's because she feels she has to do something to be worthy of that. She has to either be intimate with him or have a job herself or create the perfect house all the time. My ladies who are moms and you struggle with perfectionism, I would take a look at how much are you trying to keep the house perfect? How much are you trying to keep your kids so well behaved? A lot of the times it can come because we don't feel worthy just as who we are. And especially if we have a husband who is providing everything, we might feel, oh, we have to make the house perfect for him. I'm only worthy of being provided for if I can give him the perfect kids to come home to. Let me remind you, just your feminine energy being switched on is more worthy than any dollar, any amounts that you could think of. The gift of your feminine energy. It can't even be measured in money. What you bring to this world. You create life. You bring life into this world. Just your voice, just your mannerisms, just the release, just If you could just take a look at the chemicals that are released in a man's brain when your eyes light up, when you smile, when you walk by, you would probably be charging just to exist. I wish that we could do that. Like have a look inside of the chemicals that are released. This would be so cool for a retreat. Can you imagine? I hire like a random man and he's just sitting there with like these, what would it be called? These cords connected to his mind and different parts of feminine energy being activated, like a smile or a laugh, seeing on a giant screen what's happening to his brain in real time. How cool would that be? I might have to talk to my retreat planner about this. Yep. I quit my job and I have more money now than I did when I was working. Estrella, that's my girl. I love these comments. I love these messages so much. And it's because when you release the attachment to that like, here's the crazy thing. I was begging my past boss to pay me $20 an hour. I was being paid $18 when I was working in the restaurant. And then at my marketing job, I was being paid $20 an hour. I was begging both of them for a raise. What was I thinking? Now, what I charge for an hour, it's like 10 times that. I was just such in a mode of being so limited in my thinking and so limited in my way of showing up. And once I cut that cord and said, nope, no more. Life's too short. I want to follow my purpose. I have a passion to share about inner work, to teach about feminine energy. And I did. Money just started flowing in. It's just the cherry on top. A lot of you ladies, I'm sure, I know my business students and my Gold Vault program students see this. When you release this cord and you cut it and you just start connecting to this woman she can hold abundance and she can hold wealth, money that you don't even know what to do with, more money than you know what to do with, starts flowing in. And it changes your feminine energy a lot. Money inner work has changed my feminine energy so much because now when I feel safe and I feel secure financially, it allows my feminine energy to soften. So now my feminine energy is soft and playful and light because I'm not worried about my bills. I'm not worried about, well, my health insurance. Am I going to be able to afford this? Can I even get this medicine that I need? Can I go out with my friends? Can I get this outfit that makes me feel amazing? I'm not so focused on these scarcity mindsets that now I can show up as this woman who's just so turned on with that life force energy. So that's why I love teaching money inner work, because it's actually the best thing that you can do for your feminine energy is to become so abundant. Yep. Okay. Okay, ladies, I am going to wrap up the live stream here. My family just got back, so I'm going to go and spend some time with them. I've loved seeing you today. I cannot believe this is our last video of 2024. Thank you so much, ladies, for this incredible year. Every comment that you shared with me, every breakthrough, every testimony, just being here, the thoughtful, brilliant questions that you ask, being a part of this community. It is my biggest honor to have you. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see what this new year will bring for you. So I love you, ladies. I will see you in 2025 and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.